Oh, hello. Welcome back to Bone After the Teeth. I'm Nick Pierce. Zack Lawson's holding the camera. Let's just get right to it and roll the credits. Roll credits! Ex-girlfriends. Most of us have them. My moms have plenty. I have a couple myself. If you're straight and a woman, you probably don't. But anyways, demographically speaking, not all of you are that. Speaking of ex-girlfriends, we're going to be using a seasoning tonight that is one of my favorites. I picked it up in Baltimore back when I was in the Corps. Not the Marine Corps, FEMA Corps. It's part of AmeriCorps. Much lamer Corps. It's on Core Fitness level Core. But we're going to be using Old Bay seasoning. Get it? Old Bay? Ex-girlfriend? Humor. So what we're going to do is make tuna melts with Old Bay seasoning. And then a nice zesty mix of vegetables on the side. We got a couple of pickled cabbage that I've made in my own fridge. A little bit of green onions, some jalapenos, and some tomatoes. All together it's going to make a nice creamy tuna sauce with some zest. Here's how we start out. First, throw your tuna cans into this. Add your spices. I've used Louisiana hot sauce, ground white pepper, and garlic powder. Then you're going to take a 3-count squirt of Miracle Whip. 4-count squirt, never mind. And then you're going to stir that up all nice and smooth. Why can I not figure out what proper size bowl to use? It's a killer.
It's one of the mysteries of life, I guess.
Yeah. It's like how I've never seen a baby pigeon. That conspiracy theory.
Never thought of that, but neither have I.
Yeah. That conspiracy theory that the government is like operating birds to like spy on us might be something to it. It might just be pigeons, because like people in like Wyoming and shit aren't worth spying on. There's like a shitload of people in New York and Chicago, and that's where the pigeons live, in the big cities. So maybe only pigeons are robots. Which, by the way, could be why we're under lockdown. The government's just changing all the batteries on the birds. But I digress. So once it's all smooth and zesty, that's why you're going to use the Miracle Whip. Added zest, tangy zip. You're going to take a big heaping spoonful, throw that on to a quesadilla skin. Some people will call these a tortilla. I like to say quesadilla skin. It sounds more hardcore. Spread it all around the edges, leaving about a 1/2 inch just in case of leaking. The big thing here is to also drain the tuna, because that will get less moisture, which means it won't get soggy. Firmly pat it down, and then from there we're going to add a nice layer of cheese. Once you've got your cheese on there, maybe half a handful, you're going to spread that out nice and thick. It should look sort of like a pizza if the sauce was fish-based. Not to be confused with based fish, which is when a fish tells you that 9/11 was an inside job. Sorry. I'm kind of tired. I'm really sorry. All right. Then we're going to take a little bit of the onions, toss those over the top. And then we're going to put a nice little dollop, not to be confused with the podcast, in the center, and then spread that out a little bit. So you have a nice little fish nugget in the center. Sort of like what you do with an old PB&J sandwich in first grade. Once you have that, you take your top layer. This one doesn't match. Once you take a similar sized tortilla, gently pat it down. Then, this is where's my Pam? There it is. Next comes the hard part. Lightly spray the surface of it with Pam spray. And then you're going to want to gently flip it over. Skills. Take this and then slide it onto your air crisper tray, or if you just have an oven sheet, that'll work just fine. We're going to make another one of these, put them side by side, and then put them in the oven that we've preheated to 350 degrees. Alright, it is now some time later, not for you, we cut this together on the internet. So you're going to pull these out of the oven. You can see they're nice and brown on the edges and a little bit shiny still. I'll pull them out. And so, ideally, a nice little puff of steam should pop up when I pull it out. This one's going to be mine. I marked it. Oh, hell yes. So what I'm going to do then is take my pickled cabbage and then just literally toss the handful inside here so it gives me some extra pop and fresh zest. And then you can pretty much top these however you'd like. Slice them in half or into eighths if you like little niblets. And then boom, you're good to go. Oh, it's hot. Bone out the teeth.